I'm just over 6 months post-op, which is supposed to be the point at which you are like fully healed, or not. I don't know, even fully healed is the right way to think of it, but it's when you're meant to be able to see your results. So it's kind of like what you've got at 6 months is much closer to the final product than what you see in the beginning. Less swelling, etc. My swelling is almost completely gone. On the right side, it was more swollen throughout my healing process, and now there's kind of like a little, I don't know, like a little bean of swelling that still remains right under the nipple. I don't know if it'll go away. I'm hoping it will. I still have a lot of numbness, but I have gotten a lot of feeling back as well. And I have tenderness as well. I was holding a little baby, my brand new niece, and she had her head on my chest, and it was just like a little bit too much pressure. So I was kind of shifting her around to make sure that we were both able to be comfortable. Emotionally, I think night and day compared to most of my recovery process. It was so tiring and so emotional. I just really didn't expect that. Or I think I expected it, but I didn't expect it to be on the level that it was. Just deeply, deeply emotional. You know, I had a conversation with my therapist, whose partner is also someone who had top surgery. And one of the things my therapist said is like, you can't just sort of like hack off a body part and expect everything to be like immediately normal. That's not everybody's story, even if that's the dominant story. It actually makes perfect logical sense for there to be grief associated with that change, emotional uncertainty, difficulty, and I experienced a lot of that. I feel like now, after 6 months, I'm just sort of starting to get some of the benefits of having made the choice. I'll notice that I think about my body and I still imagine that I have a chest, and then I remember suddenly like, oh my God, I'll never have to deal with that again. And I get this little spark of like miniature joy. Those moments are really special to me because joy was something that I think expected to feel after top surgery, like right after, and I didn't. It wasn't something that I started feeling until now, basically. So I appreciate and really care about those moments. And then there are moments too. One of the most fun things for me, and I've been looking forward to this for literally so long, has been I love to go to thrift stores, and I'm very playful with clothes. I'll try on things that I've never tried before, colors, cuts, fabrics, you know, pairing things that don't seem to go together. I have a lot of fun with that. But there was a lot of things I wouldn't go near because of the way that they would be form-fitting on my chest. And I'm finding that I have a lot more flexibility in that way, specifically with clothes that are designed and marketed to women. The kinds of cuts that those tops had were typically not workable for me. But now I feel like I can wear things a little bit like more form-fitting in a way that still feels masculine and gender affirming. And that's so fun. Like it really feels like a way that I have like renewed access to play in that category. So that's been really lovely. I'm trying to think what else. To be honest, I do kind of feel like out of the weeds. Like I feel like out of the jungle. I feel like, okay, like I survived it. I made it. I'm like on the other side. And, you know, I'm sure there will be like continuations. I know I will continue to get some sensation back and things like that. But for the most part, I'm just grateful. One thing I will say, I'm not like super duper thrilled with the way that my chest like looks aesthetically. I did not get top surgery in order to be topless, and so it's not a huge concern for me. It just like wasn't the point. But it did take some adjusting because I think I expected it to be like aesthetically perfect. You know, you see some people's results and you're just like, wow, that's it doesn't get a lot better than that. There are things aesthetically about my results that were difficult for me to cope with, but I mean, I spent 31 years accepting the fact that I had like an entire chest that I did not want, strictly speaking. So it's a lot easier for me to accept like what I would consider like minor aesthetic flaws compared to like how I was having to cope with the way my body was before. Even though that's true, I'm really happy with the way that my sort of body and life will be from this point forward. I can't really say great things about the clinic itself, only because like they never called me to schedule any follow-up. Like I had my drains out a week after surgery and I never saw the surgeon again. They didn't call me, they didn't reach out to me, they didn't check on me, they didn't schedule my follow-up appointment. Like there was literally nothing after that. So that was kind of, after having been in a consult with the surgeon who was very sort of brisk, I think that sort of soured my emotional experience of it. And like, for me, it wasn't something that I needed a lot of emotional support from the surgeon, but it was disappointing, I'll say that. And again, there are things about my results that I suspect could have been better had the person doing it been maybe different. I don't know their background, but maybe more experienced, or maybe had more of this surgery under their belt. But I mean, I'm also so grateful. Like I have both nipples and, you know, everything is fine and I'm healthy and there was no complications. So I can't really be upset from that perspective, but there were disappointing aspects. So that's the way I would summarize that. Overall, for a lot of the last 6 months, I have said, like, I don't know if I would do this again. Like, if I had to do it over again, I don't know if I would. And I think ultimately, the fact that I get the rest of my life without this consideration, most things would make that worth it, I guess. So I'm really just looking forward to more time enjoying the reality of having had top surgery versus enjoying the reality of like recovering from top surgery. So I'm looking forward to a life where I think about this less. That was really the goal. That's what I'm just only scratching the surface of now.